Read my body. Are the letters big enough? Read my body. Do you like the book of my love? Read my body. Turn the page. Get to the good stuff. Hi, welcome to Music and Stuff. I'm Rob Lewis. How you doing? Welcome back. Thank goodness it's Friday. Album review time. I have been looking at the 1989 release Hot in the Shade. Now I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. That's an English expression. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but these are my thoughts. And so it was released on October the 17th, 1989. It was recorded in July and August of the same year at the Fortress, Hollywood, California. Current lineup would have been Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, obviously, with Eric Carr on drums and other things, and Bruce Kulick on lead guitar. Great lineup. And I'm going to do a video on this another time about this lineup and my thoughts about it. But I love this lineup. So it was certified gold and produced by Gene and Paul. And the idea was they'd recorded a bunch of demos, and apparently the story is that they wanted to keep that raw feel, so they didn't actually re-record them. They just overdubbed over the top of these demos. So some of the tracks apparently have got drum machines in. Interesting though that some of the writing credits, you've got Desmond Child, who's written before with the band, also Vinnie Poncia, who produced their albums Unmasked, Music from the Elder, and Peter Criss's solo album, as well as future lead guitarist Tommy Thayer, who co-wrote a couple of songs on this album way before he was in the band, because apparently he was, if I remember rightly from Gene's book Kiss and Make Up, he was like Gene's PA at the time, and like technical guy, I don't know, something like that. So yeah, that's kind of the history of the album. It was released under Mercury Records, and the cover art, as you can see, is the Sphinx in Egypt wearing sunglasses with the album title and the band name in the style of a postage stamp. So like a postcard, I guess. Hot in the Shade. Well, let's get started. Oh, someone wants a quick word. Hello, Holiday Rob here from Croatia. Just want to let you know, if you're enjoying this video, thanks very much for watching, but don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and of course the alarm notification bell so you know when my videos are coming out. And if you're interested, I've got social network stuff, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, not Twitter though. And I've also got a Patreon, so you can find me there. It's in the description. Links for everything's in the description. And yeah, I'm going to hand you back again, because otherwise Studio Rob gets frustrated. Well, thanks very much for that information. So, without further ado, let's look at the songs here. Kicking off with track number 1, Rise to It, sung by Paul Stanley, written by Paul Stanley and Bob Halligan Jr. Really like how this album starts with this sort of bluesy acoustic intro. I don't know what that is. It's bluesy acoustic intro on slide guitar. I was going to play it. I can't find my finger slide. Otherwise I would have played it. Rise to It. I really like this track. I like how it kicks in. Oh, that style, all gone waste. Yeah, I like this track. It's one of the strongest tracks on the album. I didn't mention that this album, although it was successful, a lot of fans didn't actually like it. We're going to find out my thoughts a bit later on, but yeah, Rise to It, strong opener, good way to open a track, and the single, the it was released as a single, and the video, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, had like a mock-up scene of Gene and Paul putting on makeup, like they did before, and they were discussing taking the makeup off. Yeah, Paul says, "Oh, I think we can take the makeup off," and Gene says, "You want to take the makeup off?" That phrase is used a lot, and he says, "I think you're crazy." And then they sort of. The weird thing is, you can see Eric and Bruce, the backs of their heads, not Ace and Peter, but was it 75? They're saying you can take the makeup off. Yeah, so that's a little bit weird, but that's cool. I like that. Sorry, I have my feet squeaking on the chair leg. Yeah, Rise to It. I'm going to give Rise to It 9 out of 10. Off to a good start, this album. Then we get Betrayed, which is how many people, I think, felt when listening to this album. Betrayed. Sung by Gene Simmons, written by Gene Simmons and future Kiss guitarist Tommy Thayer. It's kind of filler. It's one of those tracks. I have a cat running across the roof. Is it you, Peter? Yeah, Betrayed. I think this era of Kiss showed really well the vocal talents of Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. I think they were at their peak vocally in this kind of late 80s, early 90s era. And Gene's vocals on this track far outweigh the rest of the track. He has a particularly high note towards the end. So I'm not a big fan of the song, but I really like Gene's vocals on this song. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. A lot of it for that. Then we have track 3, Hide Your Heart. Now this is a weird... The story surrounding Hide Your Heart, the history surrounding it, is very odd. Because it's in some ways a cover, and other ways not. So it was written by Paul Stanley. Oh, this version is sung by Paul Stanley. It was written by Paul Stanley and Desmond Child and Holly Knight, but originally was recorded on the 28th, or released on the 25th of April 1988 by Bonnie Tyler, who's Welsh. I don't know why I had to mention that, but Welsh rock singer Bonnie Tyler.
Oh, what's occurring?
She recorded the original version on her album Hide Your Heart. And as I say, it was written by Paul Stanley and Desmond Child and Holly Knight. And Kiss recorded it. So it's a kind of a cover, but not quite, because Paul wrote it. But that's not where the strangeness ends. See, Ace Frehley, former Kiss guitarist, in case you didn't know, former Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley also recorded it on his album Trouble Walking. It's his third album since leaving Kiss. So his version was released on the 13th of October 1989. Kiss's came out, I believe, on the 17th of October 1989, 4 days after. If I'm correct, I might be wrong, but I think that's how the dates work out. So Kiss's version was actually the third to be released, although Paul wrote it. So it's not really a cover, but you might argue, if you didn't know who wrote it, that it is a cover. Strange that Ace Frehley released it in the same week as Kiss. I don't know if there were conversations within the whether they were even speaking at that point. But it's a bit weird, isn't it? Excuse me. It's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit of a coincidence that it should all happen. Hide Your Heart, about Rosa and Tito, you know, this kind of gang thing, like not Romeo and Juliet, but it's not West Side Story, but it's kind of, and they mentioned Streetcar Named Desire, it's sort of gang related stuff, and it's alright. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. One day I'll do the Ace Frehley version here. I'll review Trouble Walking. I suspect it might get the same or higher, but yeah, 7 out of 10 for the Kiss version. The video's alright. It's sort of like tells the story a little bit of these people, these characters. Gene closing the coroner's van door at the end a little bit. But yeah, 7 out of 10. Track 4, Prisoner of Love, sung by Gene Simmons, written by Gene Simmons and Bruce Kulick. It's kind of filler. There's not a lot I've really got to say about Prisoner of Love. It's alright. It's not bad. It's not great either. It is filler. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm feeling generous. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Because it's kind of a nothing really. There's nothing to get too emotionally attached over. Then we get to track 5. Read My Body. Sung by Paul Stanley, written by Paul Stanley and Bob Halligan Jr. Now, I recently did a video with my 14 least favourite Kiss songs. They're my personal least favourite Kiss songs. And you know, sometimes it changes. It's just how I felt on that day. Sometimes it could be a different set of 14, you know. A lot of people in my comments were saying, why isn't Read My Body in there? Now, Read My Body, it's a strange creature, Read My Body. It's kind of Kiss's version of what Def Leppard were doing at the time with Pour Some Sugar on Me, that kind of thing. It's innuendo, it's, you know, it's a song about screwing. Is it that bad? A lot of people are saying it's their worst song. Maybe objectively it is their worst song. It's not my least favourite Kiss song though. Years ago when I was first getting into Kiss, I really liked it and I thought it had something about it. And I think from a nostalgia point of view, that's what saves it from being in that list. I'm going to give it 5 out of 10. So it's just not quite in that list. But do I like it? I don't hate it. There's something about it. There's something kind of fun about it that I don't know what it is, but there's something in it that redeems it slightly. I don't know. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's got a key change. Not many Kiss songs have key changes. Does it have a key change? Am I right? Sure it does. Extra, read all about it. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good song, but something about it I like. I don't know what it is. It's just silly and fun, and that saves it. So yeah, 5 out of 10 for Read My Body, and I'm sure you'll express how crazy I am in the comments, feel free. Number 6, Love's a Slap in the Face. Sung by Gene Simmons, written by Gene Simmons and Vinnie Poncia. It's more filler, really. Much of this album from here on is kind of filler, with some exceptions. Love's a Slap in the Face, nothing really to write home about, good or bad, really. It's got a catchy little chorus, I guess. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. We get to track 7, Forever. Written by Paul Stanley and Michael Bolton. Oh yes, him with those locks. And sung by Paul Stanley. Could have been a Michael Bolton song, and I believe he has performed it at his own shows. A lot of people don't like this. Apparently it was their highest selling non-makeup era single in America, reaching number 8 in the Billboard Top 100. I like it. I more than like it. I love the song Forever. It was at one point my favourite song. I don't want to bang on about this, and it's not a big deal, but it was actually, when I got married, it was our first dance song. We're now divorced, so I have a stronger attachment to the song than I do to the ex-wife. But yeah, Forever. Something about it. I just really like it. Good, solid ballad. And it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah. Yep, Forever. 10 out of 10. I can't fault it. It's not for everybody, I get that, but it is for me, and it is forever. Track number 8, Silver Spoon, sung by Paul Stanley, written by Paul Stanley and Vinnie Poncia. It's worth mentioning at this point, this is a very long album. This was the album with the most tracks on it, at 15. There's 15 tracks on this album, more than any other self-contained album that wasn't like a compilation or anything. And I had it on cassette, and this was the end of side 1, Silver Spoon. It's kind of fillery, but it's alright, it's catchy. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I mentioned earlier about Gene and Paul's vocals, but this album particularly has some of the best harmonies that the band have done. Certainly that lineup, the Eric and Bruce lineup. There's not much to say about it. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. Number 9, Cadillac Dreams. Sung by Gene, written by Gene and Vinnie Poncia again. Same kind of thing. It's alright. It's half decent. It's got a good groove to it. Definitely. It's Gene singing, I want money, that's what I want. It's kind of their Kiss's version of the Beatles' Money, That's What I Want. In fact, it wasn't written by the Beatles, was it? The Beatles just did a cover of it. But it's kind of their version of Money, That's What I Want. Gene's got Cadillac Dreams. Please, mister, don't you take them from me. It's kind of filler, but yeah, like I say, it's got a nice little groove to it. 6 out of 10 for Cadillac Dreams. Track 10, the intro, the song really starts well. It's not ABBA. It does sound a bit like ABBA. but it's not. King of Hearts, yeah, it's got a great intro. The song doesn't live up to the intro. Sung by Paul Stanley, written by Paul Stanley and Vinnie Poncia. Did I already mention that? I think I might have done. It's kind of fillery with a great intro. 6 out of 10. Number 11. Is it the longest song title the Kiss have ever had? The street giveth and the street taketh away. It might be. Written by Gene, sung by Gene, written by Gene and Tommy Thayer again. Again, it's got a decent intro. The song doesn't completely live up to it, although I'm being a bit unfair. I'm going to give the street taketh away. Oh, that's a mouthful. A 7. It's alright. It's fillery, but it's good fillery. I don't mind it. Well, the street giveth and the street taketh away. Good vocals. Not much else to say. Track number 12, You Love Me to Hate You. Sung by Paul Stanley, written by Paul Stanley and Desmond Child. Now, I know that a lot of people don't like this one. His vocals are very high. But he could do it then. Paul could. His vocals were very high. For a long while, I really, really loved this song. I have to make a special mention to the harmonies in the chorus. In the whole song, the harmonies are fantastic. Some of the best harmonies Kiss ever produced. I think it's alright. Well, I think it's more than alright. I think it's a good song. And that's why I'm giving it 9 out of 10. Oh, he did it! He gave 9 out of 10 to You Love Me to Hate You. Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's up there for me. It's not for everybody, but you know, if you don't like it, you can make your video about it. You know, this is mine. Yeah, You Love Me to Hate You, 9 out of 10. Number 13, Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell. Sung by Gene, written by Gene and Vinnie Poncia. This is the one, if you asked me to, from memory, you know, ask me in 6 months' time, if I haven't listened to this album for a while, someone just said to me, from memory, write down the tracks on Hot in the Shade. This is the one that I'd forget. I'd be able to get all of the others, and this is the one that I wouldn't be able to remember. Because it's neither great nor is it terrible. I couldn't even remember who sang it. It's not like I skip it. I don't know, but maybe because it's quite a long album, I kind of zone out at this point. But yeah, it's not a bad song, it's not a great song. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. It's just kind of it's just there, isn't it? It's filler. Now the next one's quite interesting. It's number 14, Little Caesar. So I haven't done my Smashers, Thrashers and Shit, Hits album review yet. But when I do, I'm going to make a mention about Eric Carr singing Beth. But this is the first time in Kiss's history that someone other than the original 4 members sang lead on a song that was a new composition, an original composition. Eric Carr sang vocals for Little Caesar, but it doesn't end there. So that was quite special in that sense, but it doesn't end there, because Eric Carr sang lead vocals for Little Caesar. It was also written by Eric Carr and Gene Simmons and Adam Mitchell. So he didn't only sing vocals, he obviously played drums too. He also played bass guitar on Little Caesar. Bruce Kulick played rhythm guitar and lead guitar. Gene and Paul just showed up to do backing vocals. Isn't that strange? The song was basically Eric and Bruce. Well, that was written by Eric, Gene and Adam Mitchell. But it actually came out, it was mostly Eric and Bruce. Isn't that funny? Especially when I gave it 8 out of 10. Gene and Paul had less to do with that song than pretty much anything else in the 80s. They produced it. And it's a really good song. It would have been good for Eric to have done more. Sadly, this was the last album to feature Eric as a full-time drummer. He'd done music from The Elder, Killers, he'd done Lick It Up, Creatures of the Night, Animalize, Asylum, Crazy Nights and Hot in the Shade, his 8th album, and it was his final album. So it was good that we got that song from him. Yeah, 8 out of 10, Little Caesar. Good song. Rest in peace, Eric Carr. Then the track 15, Boomerang. Written by Gene Simmons and Bruce Kulick, sung by Gene Simmons. I do sort of think, why'd you bother? It's not a great song. Probably, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. If I'm honest, probably my least favourite on the album. Which is weird because there's been other times that I've listened to it and I've quite liked it. So isn't that funny? But there's not a lot going on in it for me. It's not like it's a crap song. It's just not really for me. So Boomerang, 5 out of 10. So let's add up the points here. It works out the album as a whole is 7 out of 10 for me. And I know a lot of people can't stand it. I don't dislike the album. I think the album as a whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Not a lot else to say about it, really. Interesting that in the sleeve liner there was one photo of the band, all with their shades on, looking very 80s. And there was some information about AIDS, because that was obviously trendy at the time. AIDS, trendy. Just kind of raising awareness to it, which is good. It's a nice little thing because, you know, they do promote promiscuous sex. It's good that they also promote safe sex. So remember, kids, put something on the end of it. But yeah, so 7 out of 10 for Hot in the Shade. Give it a listen. It's a good little album. You could probably skip some of the tracks, admittedly, but overall, not bad. Contrary to what many Kiss fans think, I don't mind it. Well, that's it for me. I think next week, I'm not sure, I may drop some other videos, because my Kiss videos are doing really well at the moment on this channel, so I might sneak a couple more in. But I think next week I'm going to be reviewing or ranking the songs that Peter Criss sang for the band, because it's going to be Peter's birthday. So I think that's the plan. I think that's next week. Christmas is nearly on us. I haven't got decorations up yet, but I should have them up soon. But yeah, thanks very, very, very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later, Bill and Ted.